Hello everyone, my name is Kayla Padilla and I'm doing this presentation as extra credit for my Animal Ag and the Environment course. This presentation is based on a virtual farm tour that I've watched on Oakdale Turkey Farm. Before we jump in, I want to give you some background to Oakdale Farm. This farm is a sixth generation turkey breeding facility that was established in 1866. For those of you without poultry experience, one of the most important aspects of this operation, and even the poultry industry as a whole, is biosecurity. Although biosecurity is never 100% effective, it is a way in which poultry farmers can lessen the chance of diseases within their flock. In the video, Oakdale protects their flock by making staff leave shoes at the farm, wear shoe coverings, and wear overalls. They have a step which serves as a physical barrier for biosecurity. Other biosecurity practices that are commonly used is a list of visitors that come onto your farm. This helps track the origin of potential diseases and is one of the most critical aspects to any biosecurity plan. However, this was not mentioned in the tour. Another topic that is extremely important, which was addressed at the beginning of the tour, was the misconception surrounding the poultry industry, specifically the usage of steroids, hormones, and antibiotics. In the tour, it was addressed very early on that it is illegal to use steroids and hormones in any poultry operation in the United States. So, it is not used on Oakdale farms. As far as antibiotics, Oakdale farm staff expressed early on that feeding antibiotics without disease provides no benefit to the farmer and costs the farmers more money. It was stressed that their flock, if they believed that their flock was sick and needed the antibiotics, then they would be provided some. However, their birds are currently healthy and therefore have not been given any antibiotics. Now that we have established background on Oakdale Farm, let's go into the lifespan of the turkeys. During their grower period, the birds are held in a house until 19 weeks of age. During the tour, there were about 2,500 birds in one house, providing them with ample space to move around. Water and feed are provided through automatic feeders and waterers, which are cleaned daily. Light is used to assist with bringing the birds into sexual maturity, specifically in terms of females, otherwise known as hens. And I will address this on a later slide, as we will go more in depth. As far as moving the birds out of the growing stage, this is when they move the birds to a different house. The females are going to the layer house, while the males or toms are sold for market. Once the house is empty, the litter is removed and all surfaces of the house are power washed. Samples are then sent out for testing. Once they receive negative results for any diseases, then they can bring in new chicks that will be raised. It unfortunately was not mentioned in the tour how they manage their manure or death/mortalities. The next step in the life cycle is the layer barn. Here is where Oakdale's goal is to collect 1,500 eggs per day. A way in which they do this is through mechanical nests. The operator will flip a switch, which pushes the hen out of the nest while leaving the eggs behind. The eggs are then swept onto a conveyor belt for collection. Farmers also make sweeps of the floors to make sure they are collecting eggs that were not laid in the nest, as many of them could end up on the floor. With this, it's important to have the flock come into laying simultaneously, so light is a tool that is used to manipulate their cycles. Poultry are considered to be long day breeders, which means that they lay when there are longer daylight hours. Farmers, such as those on Oakdale Farm, use this to their advantage, allowing them to optimize the 8-month laying period in turkeys. The next step in this process is inspection and cleaning of eggs. As far as inspection goes, there are 3 aspects that are evaluated for eggs: size, color, and shell quality. Specifically for Oakdale Farms, they are looking for eggs that are about 72 grams. As far as colors go, they do not prefer speckled eggs, as it may be an indicator of shell quality. These eggs do tend to break more easily, so other aspects of colors that they would be looking into would be white with minimal marks on it as possible, and no feces. So the cleaner the better. As far as cleaning eggs go, they are sent to an egg room where they go through a machine similar to that of a car wash. And the machine has a pressurizer, and the eggs are rinsed with water that is between 110 and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And the eggs are also sprayed with a mild disinfectant. From here, the eggs are placed in the egg cooler room where they are picked up twice a week and taken to the hatchery where they are incubated for 28 days until they are hatched. Although best management practices were not addressed, there are 3 practices that they can use to limit their environmental impact. Although it is something that is not usually expected, reusing poultry litter can be beneficial and economical if managed correctly. With the reuse of poultry litter, there is less dispose to be applied to land overall, which reduces the chance of nutrients or pathogens, such as bacteria, to infect the water supply and other water resources. With this practice, it is important to remove cake litter and till the litter so that it does not become compacted. Tilling the litter also exposes potential bacteria to oxygen, which they may not be best suited for growth in oxygen-rich environments. As far as best management practices for litter storage, location is critically important. You want to select a site that is easily accessed and over 100 feet away from surface water, with these areas also being buffered between the surface water areas and the litter storage. These permanent structures should also have concrete floors and must follow guidelines set by the USDA. As far as mortality management goes, some may consider to have either an incinerator or go to a rendering plant to dispose of the carcasses or bodies. Incineration is a fast and effective way to dispose of birds that have died, especially from disease. This may eventually become an issue depending on the quantity and size of the animals, but it is a method that does reduce the amount of pests present on the farm, which in turn, if there are pests present on the farm, could cause further disease or even contaminate local waterways. Another method that would be slightly more of a risk for farmers, but should be taken into account, is having the carcasses transported to a rendering plant. The downside to this is having a truck transporting the carcasses from the farm to the rendering plant and back to the farm. There is a potential for bacteria and other pathogens to enter into the farm, as well as having the need for a temporary storage of carcasses between deliveries and pickups. However, both do provide environmental benefits as they are not disposing of carcasses near bodies of water which could contaminate these resources. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope you have a wonderful day.